extraordinary music.
What's going on, Masterclass family? This is your boy, Mr. Adams, bringing you the Black Friday trade of the day. Today is March the 1st. It was a very special day for me. Today was my last day with my employer, Geico. I did resign or put in the resignation last week and began to go full time today. And what can I say? What a way to start off. So I'm going to do a quick analysis of the trade of the day, which was Amazon, and I want to cover a particular setup on Apple and Microsoft as well, because this has proven to be our highest probability entry when dealing with income trades. But to kick everything off with Amazon, early in the morning, a few of us were chatting in a Masterclass chat room, and I got several hits on Amazon. I got a Masterclass scan for Amazon for a Masterclass Doji, 5 to 1, and then an ultimate 5 to 1. Then I got another 5 to 1 scan. So all morning I was getting these positive hits on Amazon. So I knew that Amazon was going to be somewhat of a big deal today. However, earlier in the morning I was kind of conflicted on Amazon. The reason being, when I was getting those messages, Amazon was in a supply zone. Amazon, it gapped right up into a supply zone area, and the slow RSI was overbought. And typically in this situation, we're looking to buy puts. And so I was bearish at first, though I had all of the bullish 5 to 1 indicators. However, my sentiment shifted earlier in the morning when I took a look at Amazon on a daily chart. When I looked at Amazon on a daily chart, I saw the beginning of our Thanos setup. I saw the TTM wave beginning to flip over. I saw that Amazon was in a TTM squeeze and beginning to flip positive. And then MACD is at the zero line and just starting to cross over. So that's the beginning stages of a Thanos setup, which means that a big move is about to occur, especially when you have a TTM squeeze on a daily chart. I began to see that the platform, the Thinkorswim platform, was already drawing this triangle for Amazon as well, showing that it was preparing itself to break out in some direction. And naturally, just look at it, you can kind of get a upside bias for Amazon. So when I zoomed out on a daily chart, I can see that Amazon was currently around $1,600 and some change, but Amazon's high was $2,050, which means that's about a $400 difference from the high. And Amazon is a valuable stock, a stock that institutions like to hold. So that's still some pretty good value to catch, on Amazon. So that shifted my sentiment from bearish to bullish once the opportunity was right. And then I looked at the week and I saw that the weekly chart had a positive sentiment as well, bullish sentiment. The TTM squeeze was starting to flip positive. The MACD just crossing over on the weekly chart, and I had a candlestick above this trifecta moving average confluence of the 20 weekly moving average, the 10 and the 50 weekly moving average, all holding up Amazon. And this is somewhat of a flag right here. You can say this is your flag pole, and that's your actual flag, and you're just now getting a breakout on that. Once again, for potential target to 1779 first, then back up to 2000. So in my opinion, it was best to wait for Amazon to pull back and snatch some calls on it. So now let's take a look at our standard setup on a 5-minute chart, and then I'll come back to this particular screen. So on a 5-minute chart, when we have a 5 to 1 setup, we're looking for previous day's consolidation. And we had some consolidation end of the day in the aftermarket. But once again, what caught my attention was the supply zone above. Looking back over the last few days, I can see where the supply zone originated from this peak right here, which was on February the 25th. And in the morning, Amazon gapped up right to that level. And once again, as I had showed you, it was oversold. I mean, overbought. I'm sorry, and you had some dual money flow as well. Um, as the stock begins to approach the market open, I realized that it was not breaking down below the previous day's low, which means that if the price is holding above the previous day's high, if the price is holding above the previous day's high, and all of your moving averages are in chronological order. I mean, you got the 10 on top of the 20, 20 on top of the 50, 50 on top of 100, 100 on top of the 200. Then you could quite possibly have a zone flip. So this area of supply where people are looking to sell uh, is about to get short squeezed if the stock holds. And that's exactly what happens. After the first candlestick, first 5 minute candlestick on Microsoft, you have a doji here, and it held. And then the next candlestick was somewhat of an inside candlestick, and the next one broke out. That was about a $7 to $8 candle, and I entered um, right here because based on what I was seeing on the daily chart and weekly chart, I had conviction that Amazon could quite possibly go higher, and there could be a short squeeze, and the stock instantly popped here only to retrace. I did set a 5 to 1 OCO, so I had like a 50% trail on this, and I almost out in this area here, but the stop was right around this level. So I didn't get all the way stopped out because my 50% trail stop was pretty wide. And then the stock bounced back to where I got close to getting stopped out, but my stop never truly got hit, almost though. And then I notified the group around 11:55 that we now have a bullish engulfing candle right here. For those that does not know how to use the platform to have it find an engulfing candle for you, you just simply add it right here. You go to patterns, candlestick, engulfing, apply, and the most important engulfing candle. Let me go to the next screen so we can see that a little bit clearer. During that time, when you got this bullish engulfing candle on Amazon, you were still above the previous day's high, and this supply zone is now acting as a new form of demand or support because you got your breakout here. Now it's coming back and testing support again, and you get this engulfing candle, which is a strong reversal signal when at a support level, and a slow RSI is crossing back above the middle line, which is ideal for breakouts. And boom, what do you know? You get a $23 run within the next 2 hours on Amazon. On the 1 hour chart, you can see we have the Thanos. It's already fired off. Everything is in good order. The MACD is positive. TTM squeeze is lit. So is the TTM wave A and C. And you're above the cloud, and you have a gold setup for the 1 hour chart. So that met our criteria on the 1 hour chart. We recently broken out of a technical pattern on the 30-minute chart, and I believe the MACD was in good standing here as well. 15-minute was above the monthly VWAP, so everything looked good on it. We just had to wait for the right time to enter the stock, and you had 2 entries. Your first entry, if you had conviction, was after the close of this doji. Then you could have caught this pop. You could easily snatch the income. I think we were up like $9,000 or something like that here. Then this was a second entry when you got this engulfing candle here off of this previous day's high level, which was support. Then you could have caught another $8 to $9 run here. And if you missed that one, the third and final one was this engulfing candle, which is typically a higher low as well. And waiting for the higher low at the support level typically gives you the biggest move, and that's exactly what happened here when you got this $23 run. Looking at Amazon's options chain, the contracts I bought were about 3 what's the what I'm looking for? It wasn't a 5 to 1. It's about 3.5 to 1. I bought the 160 calls. I bought them for $3 and some change when I got them, I believe, and it went as high as $13.33. I think I picked up some Amazon at about $3.80, and I got out at about $13.30. So that was the Amazon trade. Next, we're going to pull up Apple. Put out because seen where Apple had fallen to the previous day's low, which is also a very thick demand zone. And this was the first test to the demand zone in previous day's low when the slow RSI was oversold. And here is your second test. And this second test was the candle that I entered on. And boom, it literally just skyrocketed off of this level and went straight up, giving you easy 50%, if not more. So this setup here, when a slow RSI is oversold, when you have a test of previous low with the demand zone, is probably by far the best entry that you can probably take, and it's very easy to find using this demand zone indicator. Microsoft was for Q&A. We had a fall down to the previous day's low with the demand zone. The stock was oversold when this happened, and then boom, Microsoft took off, gave you easy 50% income. So if you're focusing on demand zones when the stock is oversold on a slow RSI, or you focusing on supply zones and buying puts when the stock is oversold, those are going to be your highest probability entries. And hitting those consistently, can change your life in a very short period of time. So Amazon was the masterclass trade of the day, with some special shout outs to Apple and Microsoft for being excellent examples of the ideal demand zone trades. Masterclass, dominate.